When I first met Ryan, I thought I had love all figured out. I was 26, living in Chicago, working as a marketing consultant, and just starting to believe I could build a life entirely on my own terms. I had read every self-help book about independence, watched endless motivational videos about not settling, and had my own little mantra: I don't do 50-50. To me, love was supposed to be about partnership, but not equality in the sense of splitting bills or sharing chores evenly. I wanted a man who would lead, provide, protect, and plan. I wanted to feel taken care of, not because I couldn't do things myself, but because I believed real love meant being cherished and supported beyond the bare minimum. So, when Ryan, a gentle, smiling software engineer with slightly messy brown hair and a heart so pure it almost scared me, asked me out, I made my expectations clear. On our third date, over a candlelit dinner at a small Italian restaurant, I told him directly, I don't do 50-50. He looked at me calmly, his fork paused halfway between the plate and his mouth. What do you mean exactly? I leaned back, confident. I mean, I don't believe in splitting everything evenly. If I'm with someone, I want a man who takes the lead. Emotionally, financially, everything. I want to feel safe enough to lean on him. Ryan nodded slowly. I understand, he said. But I believe in partnership, where both people give their best, even if that doesn't always look equal. I smiled politely. Then maybe we see things differently. He didn't argue. He just smiled again, and that quiet smile made me oddly uneasy. Over the next few months, we grew close anyway. Ryan was steady, never too loud, never pushy, always present. He brought me coffee every morning when I stayed over, never forgot to ask about my day, and treated my dreams like they mattered. But the financial part, he still insisted on splitting things. When we went to restaurants, he'd grab the bill and say, "You want to Venmo me half?" With that same calm, easy tone. When we traveled, he'd book the flights, and I'd cover the hotel. It was fair, but it didn't feel romantic to me. I wanted grand gestures. I wanted to feel like I was being taken care of, not treated like a teammate. So I started pulling away. One night, after almost a year together, we had our first real fight. He came over after work, exhausted, but still carrying takeout from my favorite Thai restaurant. He set it down, and I sighed before he could even unpack it. "Ryan, can I be honest?" I asked, crossing my arms. "Always," he said gently. "I just feel like this isn't what I imagined," I said carefully. "You're so equal about everything. I don't want to split life down the middle. I want to feel like someone's taking care of me." He was quiet for a long time. Then he nodded. "I get that, but love isn't about keeping score. It's about showing up, both of us. I've never wanted to split life with you. I wanted to share it." His words were kind, but I didn't hear them. I was too stuck on the picture in my head. 2 weeks later, I ended things. Ryan didn't beg. He just said softly, "I hope you find what you're looking for, Emily." I watched him walk away, heart strangely heavy. For months after that, I dated men who seemed more like what I said I wanted: flashy, confident, always picking up the bill. But they never truly listened. They gave attention, not understanding. Gifts, not patience. And I started realizing something quietly painful. I had let go of a man who didn't just want to provide, he wanted to partner. Then, one afternoon, I ran into Ryan at a local bookstore. He looked happy, lighter, even. There was a calm joy in his eyes that hadn't been there before. "Emily," he said warmly. "Wow, it's been a while." We caught up like old friends. He told me about his new job, the house he'd just bought, and, most surprising of all, his new girlfriend, Hannah. She was an art teacher, soft-spoken, and from the way he spoke about her, I could tell he loved her deeply. "She's amazing," he said, smiling. "We just fit. We both give everything we can." That phrase hit me hard. We both give everything we can. That night, I went home and sat in the quiet of my apartment, surrounded by the things I'd bought to make myself feel successful: designer bags, new furniture, everything spotless, but I felt empty. I opened my old journal and read the words I had written months ago: "I don't do 50-50. It suddenly looked foolish. Life isn't math. Love isn't a balance sheet. It's a rhythm. Sometimes one gives more, sometimes the other does. Real love isn't about who pays or who leads, it's about who stays, who listens, who tries." Over time, I started changing. Not for a man, but for myself. I stopped seeing independence as separation and started seeing partnership as strength. 2 years later, I met Daniel. He wasn't as quiet as Ryan, but he had that same kind of steadiness. We met through work, and he made me laugh in the middle of meetings when no one else could. We started dating slowly, and one night when the check came, he smiled and said, "Want to split it?" I laughed softly, "Sure," but the funny thing was, it didn't feel wrong anymore. We ended up building a life that wasn't 50-50. Some months, when I earned more, I paid the rent. When he got a big bonus, he surprised me with plane tickets to visit my parents. We weren't measuring love, we were living it. Looking back, I sometimes think about Ryan. I'm grateful for what he taught me without ever trying to. Because life did teach me a powerful lesson about love. It's not about what someone gives you, but what both of you are willing to build together. And now, when I see young women saying they don't do 50-50, I smile quietly. Because I get it. I once believed the same. But love, real love, isn't about doing less or demanding more. It's about showing up fully, even when it's not perfectly equal. Because the truth is, the most beautiful relationships aren't balanced, they're committed. And I finally learned that was worth everything.